Welcome to HHPS 3320, the History and Philosophy of Physical Education and Sport. So I am Dr. Katie Helms, and I am with you this summer. Thanks for taking this class with me, and I hope we have a good time. So what this class is about, sport and physical activity have been around since ancient civilizations, such as Greece and Rome. So how has sport evolved into how we see it today? And how do we see it and use it today? Is sport a vehicle to be healthy? Is sport a tool to help kids learn valuable life skills? Is sport an important way that communities bond? Or is sport merely entertainment for us to watch and a way for companies to make money? So we're going to look at a variety of these different perspectives, and the answer is all of those things. But how did it get to be those things, and how are those things different from each other? So we're going to be looking at a variety of perspectives throughout history that help to shape the way that we view the human body and how we move it. So how to get started in this class? You have obviously opened up your Blackboard, and you found the Start Here menu in your left menu, so that's great. You're already started. There are some important sections in this first folder. Go all the way through all of the sections in this folder, read the content, download any of the attachments that I've given, such as the syllabus and the course policies, PowerPoint presentations. And you're going to need that information for your I'm Ready to Get Started quiz at the end of this section. And that's due at the end of this week. So one class policy that I want to point out, and you'll see it throughout the course in multiple places, is that work will not be accepted after deadlines. And I mentioned this in my emails to you in the last few weeks, asking you to go ahead and get your textbook before the class starts, because we're going to be hitting the ground running and needing it right away. So I don't accept work after deadlines, and that's how the world works, both in life and in jobs. So we're going to practice that here. And a quick word about what to do if you have an issue. I know that life happens. So let's say you're working on an assignment and you go to upload it in Blackboard and something goes wrong. Either Blackboard is acting funny or you can't get it to upload. So what to do? Email me and let me know what the problem is, and then attach your assignment so that you can get it in before the deadline. The only excuses I will take for late work are if there are the types of emergencies that are recognized by the university. And then I'll ask you the next day to go ahead and follow up with Blackboard help here on campus and let me know what they say. I want to see their response. So I want to know that you followed up with Blackboard. I'll ask to see your email to them and their response to you. So because I don't want you to have issues. I want them to get fixed. So I'll be asking you to follow up, and I want to see that follow up. Okay, that being said, this is a summer course and it moves pretty fast. Every week you're going to have a new folder pop up in the course content section, and it's going to have the readings and presentations that you'll need for the week, as well as what is due that week. So the weekly course content folder is pretty important. That's where you're going to find the weekly stuff that we're going to be doing in this class. So there are multiple things due every week in this class. You need to spend time most days working on it. Most semesters are 15 weeks. This one's only 5. So that means we're moving 3 times as fast as a regular semester. So don't wait until the day things are due to start working on them. You won't finish, and you won't get anything out of it either. It'll be poor quality, and you won't learn. So how to communicate with me? I am very responsive in email or Blackboard messages. So please feel free to reach out anytime. That's how I would prefer that you contact me. I may or may not be in my office when you call. So, but I am always close to email and Blackboard messages. So that's my preferred method of contact with you. If you have an issue with a due date, that needs to be communicated with me ahead of time. I can't do anything about issues that you have after a due date. You've got to let me know before a due date, and we can see what we can work out. So let me stress that. If you have an issue, I need to know ahead of the due date. If you're bringing up an issue on the due date, or hours before the due date, then your lack of planning is not my emergency. So I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. If you're bringing up a problem to me minutes and hours before the due date, then you haven't adequately planned, and I can't help you. So please plan ahead in submitting your work. If you have an issue with the due date, like you're traveling and you don't know if you're going to have internet access, either turn it in early or let me know well ahead of time. So there are no excuses for missing work other than university recognized excuses, which are things like a medical emergency or like a university server issue, which I will know about. So each week you've got 2 things due: a weekly reaction assignment and a quiz. I've put instructions for each in the weekly content, and you're going to pull that up in that Microsoft Word document and follow those instructions. Upload all of your work as a Microsoft Word document in the Blackboard assignment tool. That's my preferred method of submission. Don't email it to me unless you have a Blackboard issue like I described previously. And don't type in the text submission in Blackboard. Don't type it straight into Blackboard. Type it into a Microsoft Word document, save it on your computer, and then upload it into that Blackboard assignment tool. Your textbook, I mentioned it several times in email. You heard from me several times over the past few weeks. You will need it to complete the weekly assignments. I've emailed you a couple times to make sure you have had enough time to get it. If you don't have it today, you better have it on the way. Otherwise, you won't be able to do your work, and you're going to have to borrow, communicate with a classmate, and ask nicely to borrow and try to share. So I hope that we have a great semester. Thanks again for taking this class. I appreciate your time and attention, and I look forward to working with you. Please, as I said before, email me at any time to talk about anything, and I am happy to talk it over with you. I'm pretty approachable, and I'm reasonable. So I look forward to working with you, and let's have a good semester.